Today on Made in New Jersey, we'll talk about ending America's gun violence crisis, supporting the arts in our communities, and how we can improve our neighborhoods for the better. Stick with me as we speak with Elizabeth Friedman, the head of Monmouth County's chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, and Jess Levy, the CEO and founder of the Axelrod Performing Arts Center in Deal. I'm Senator Vin Gopal, and you're watching Made in New Jersey. Welcome back to Made in New Jersey. Elizabeth, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit about your organization and what they do?
Yeah, Moms Demand Action is a nonprofit, nonpartisan grassroots organization working to reduce gun deaths in this country. We are not just moms. Anybody can be a member of Moms Demand Action. And we are not anti-gun. We are anti-gun violence. We just think that we can do, while respecting the Second Amendment, we think that we can do better than the nearly 36,000 gun deaths that occur in this country. If you want to join Moms Demand Action, it's very easy. You can text the word JOIN to the number 64433, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later too.
It seems like it's been over the last few years more of a national organization, but chapters are starting to pop up everywhere. How many are there here in New Jersey?
So in New Jersey, we have 13 local groups, and that's double what we had 2 years ago. The Monmouth County group started 2.5 years ago. And we have events every month. We go around the county to try to reach out in all the different towns to reach out to all of the volunteers.
That's great. And so is it a volunteer organization mostly?
Yes, it's a volunteer organization, and it's a national organization. And the national organization started the day after the Sandy Hook shooting in 2012. It was started by a woman named Shannon Watts, whose name is getting very much more familiar now. And she started it with a Facebook page. And now we are nearly 6 million Americans, supporters and volunteers all over the country that are part of Moms Demand Action.
And is it advocacy for state policies, federal policies, town, city policies? What kind of policies are you trying to change?
We are changing policies state by state, and we are also changing federal policies, and I can talk about some of that. But we mostly work state by state because it's much harder to change things at the federal level. But that we have a couple federal priorities now that we're working on. But New Jersey, we have a lot of things that have happened in New Jersey.
Sure. What are some of those things that have...
So New Jersey is really at the forefront of common sense gun legislation. Last year, there were some laws that got passed, and they did things like reducing the size of ammunition magazines from 15 to 10, regulation of ghost guns, banning 3D printing of guns, and most importantly, closed a loophole so that now you need to have a background check for private gun sales. And another set of laws was passed that started a funding stream for something called hospital violence intervention programs. So these are programs that are at emergency rooms or trauma centers, and they reach out to the patients while they are in the hospital to provide case management and social services. And the idea is to try to prevent the recidivism and to try to prevent re-injury. And they are found to be very effective. And in the long run, they end up saving money for the state, for the hospitals. Very recently, on September 1st, New Jersey had passed them already, but they went into effect the red flag laws, which are also called extreme risk protection orders. And these are so important in saving lives. If a family member or a household member or even law enforcement feels that somebody is at risk to harming themselves or others with a gun, they can temporarily take away their guns. They can petition for a court order. We know that 2/3 of all gun deaths are by suicide in this country, which is 10 times the amount of other high-income countries, and this is going to save lives. Just last week in Maryland, the police had seized over 140 guns from a man who had threatened to shoot people at his workplace. And that was because of the red flag laws that they have in Maryland. So again, this is just another way to save lives.
Do you get any pushback from a lot of gun owners saying that sometimes they feel potentially this could be overreaching, or do you think that some of their concerns are founded or what?
We do find that sometimes they say we are overreaching, but it's very regulated and there's a whole process. So I don't feel that it's unfounded because gun owner or not, I don't think any of us wants someone who should not have a gun to have a gun. Sure. And if somebody is in crisis, we should be reaching out to them. And this is the beginning of this program in New Jersey. I know yesterday there was a training about it. There's going to be a whole process of how to go through this and make sure that the person gets the services that they need. It's not just about taking away the guns, because it's temporary. The guns can be returned to someone if they can demonstrate that they are in a different place and they have received services. So I don't think it's overreaching at all. Our goal is to keep people safe. And in over half of mass shootings, there were warning signs before. So these laws are designed to prevent that.
And so recently, I read Moms Demand Action is working with Rutgers University on a project. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that is really exciting. We know that the Dickey Amendment, which was mandated in 1996, said that the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, could not use any of their funds for gun violence research. So there has been no federal gun violence research since that time. So New Jersey, their center was opened in October 2018, and it's one of only 2 in the country. So again, New Jersey is at the forefront with this stuff. And they are going to look at the causes, the consequences of gun violence. And the only way that we can figure out how to eradicate gun violence is to look at its root causes and see how we can help to solve the problem.
That's great. And I know that a lot of illegal guns have been coming into New Jersey, and a lot of not just here but across the country. We have and New Jersey has some of the more stronger laws, and unfortunately, because other states have weaker laws, a lot of those illegal guns end up coming into our cities. Is there what can we do about that?
Well, that's where our national priorities come into play, because if there were federal background checks required, that would make a big difference, because it's very easy to get guns in other states. So one of our #1 federal priorities is a background check on all gun sales. Right now, federally, you only need to have a background check from a licensed dealer, but you can buy a gun from an unlicensed dealer, you can buy it privately, you can buy it online, you can buy it from classified ads. So this is the #1 way to really prevent all of this happening. So the shooter who killed 7 people and shot 20 more in Odessa, he obtained his gun from a private seller, so he did not have to get a background check. He had previously failed a background check. Background checks have prevented, in the past 25 years, they've prevented 3.5 million illegal gun sales from going through. So if we had federal background checks, this would prevent a lot of what you were talking about happening, that we wouldn't have the situation in other states, and they wouldn't be able to bring them to New Jersey.
We have some states also have very weak waiting periods too, so it makes it easier for people to get weapons.
Exactly. So right now, that's our #1
So what are your priorities as far as federally trying to get
so that's background checks is the #1, and our other federal priority are the extreme risk protection orders that I was speaking about before. We have them in New Jersey because we have very good gun laws, but we don't have them at the federal level. And again, this is just to be able to take guns away from somebody who might harm someone else. So right now, this passed out of the Judiciary Committee this week, so we need to wait for it to move on. And also, Congress has come back from their August recess, and the pressure is on, and we are going to be putting the pressure on them to bring this to the Senate so that they can vote on these life-saving measures, the background checks and red flag laws.
That's great. Can you tell me, just going back a little bit, to the Monmouth County chapter?
Yes.
So how many members do you have? How often do you organize meet? What are some of your local priorities?
Yeah. So we don't have a set number of members because we are all volunteers, so we don't collect dues. But I know in our database, I have a couple thousand names of people that have come to some of our events, and that's just in the past 2.5 years. So it's really grown a lot. We have meetings. Sometimes we will have a speaker, an outside speaker that will come and talk about certain things. Next month, we are having a speaker who is I believe she's a psychiatrist, who's going to be talking about lockdown drills and how it affects our children, because that's a very hot issue right now. And we're still all just learning about this. Sometimes we will just speak at the meetings and talk about Moms Demand Action, how you can get involved. And we have lots of action meetings. So recently over the summer, we had a postcard writing party. We were writing to Mitch McConnell to bring background check, bring it to a vote, bring a vote about background checks to the Senate. So we do lots of action things. And just tomorrow, we are walking with a suicide prevention organization, just in solidarity with them. So we do lots of different things like that. So,
That's great.
you see us around, you see our red shirts. We're all over social media, out and
in
about.
the State House
So
sometimes.
yes.
That's great. You have a campaign called SMART. What is that? And what do they do?
Yes, the Be Smart program is a campaign that Moms Demand Action developed a few years ago, and this is about keeping children and teens safe from guns. It's about educating on safe storage. We can't rely on children or teens to know what they should be doing. We don't want them to get access to guns. And nearly 4.5 million children in the U.S. live in homes where guns are loaded and unlocked. And about 350 children and teens under the age of 18 get access to a gun, shoot themselves, shoot someone else, and sometimes fatally. And very sadly, about 600 children and teens under the age of 18 die by suicide with a gun. So this is the objective. We want to stop that from happening. And the importance of safe firearm storage, it cannot be overstated. It's storage in your home, it's storage in your cars. So we have a PowerPoint presentation that we go out to PTOs or any other local group that would like to hear the presentation. We've done some childcare groups, and it's really to educate adults how to keep children and teens safe from, so that they cannot access guns.
So it's a program called Be Smart.
Be Smart.
And it is something that you guys created.
Moms Demand Action created it, and all the different local groups all over the country, we go and do this. There's no charge. You just need to get in touch with us, and we will come and do it for any group that's interested in.
That's great. So how can people get more involved in your organization? How can they learn what's going on? A lot of people are busy with families, work, etc. What are different ways they can volunteer?
So there's lots of things you can do. And we have volunteers who sometimes just follow us on social media and they do some of our actions, and that's fine. So again, you can text that word JOIN to 64433. If you're on Facebook, you can like our page. We have a Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America main page, but we also have a New Jersey page. You can send a message to that page and say you'd like to get more involved. But eventually, if you text that word JOIN, it will come down to us. So sometimes we have actions where you can just call your legislators. And this is one of the most important things that we should be doing right now is calling our legislators and demanding that they bring these things for a vote. So you don't even have to leave your house to do that. You can come to some of our meetings where we have postcard writing parties where we do things like that. You can come to some of our meetings where you just become educated about the legislation and about different things that we do. You can participate in walks. You can make calls from your own home. We have a Gun Sense network of callers, and they call people all over the country. Because one thing to remember, it's not just in Monmouth County and in New Jersey, but there's places all over the country that even need our help more because we have very good gun laws in New Jersey.
Sure.
So we have ways that you can call from your own home and call and talk to people all over the country and support them. So those are ways that you can get involved.
Great. And you're not, Moms Demand Action is not a political organization by any means, right? You don't endorse, you don't donate, you don't do anything like that. No. It's an advocacy organization?
Yes, we are nonpartisan. We do have a program called the Gun Sense Distinction for candidates, and it's any candidate can apply. It's not an endorsement, but if you meet certain criteria, you have to fill out an application, and it's available at certain elections. And you can say that, okay, I stand by these principles. I want to be a Gun Sense Distinction candidate, and we've had candidates from both sides, from all parties. But again, it's not an endorsement. We're not donating to those campaigns. But we just realized that Americans want this to happen. 90% of Americans believe in universal background checks. They believe that we should be doing this. So,
sure. Well, with 30 seconds to go, is there something that those watching at home can do besides texting, calling? Is there something coming up in the next 3-4 months that will really have an impact on what you say 90% of Americans support background checks? What can they do?
Call your legislators and call them, write to them, and ask them to bring background checks and red flag laws for a vote. Those are the two main priorities. So that and to make sure you vote.
Great.
Every single election.
Elizabeth Friedman, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Your seat cushion can be used to grant wishes.
Who said that? Hello?
Really can,
You talking to me?
Sure am. Because the airline miles you earn and donate to Make-A-Wish can help send thousands of kids on their wish trips. So donate to Make-A-Wish today.
You really should, you know. You really should.
And give wishes wings, because wishes work wonders.
Welcome back to Made in New Jersey. I'm Senator Vin Gopal. We are now joined by Jess Levy, who is the CEO of the Axelrod Performing Arts Center in Deal. Thank you for being here. Can you tell me a little bit about the Axelrod Performing Arts Center, how it started, and where it's located?
Yes. The Axelrod Performing Arts Center is located in Ocean Township, New Jersey. We're a nonprofit arts organization. We were founded in 2010. The Axelrod Performing Arts Center facility is located as well in Ocean Township. We perform at the Axelrod and other sites throughout the county. For example, this past summer we performed in Asbury Park. We recreated Judy Garland's 50th anniversary concert at Carnegie Hall with a 50-piece orchestra and noted Broadway singers. Our programming is diverse, it's multicultural, and we're a multidisciplinary organization. What that means is that we present everything from film to professional theater to youth arts programming, and our newest program is the Axelrod Contemporary Ballet Theater. To tell you something about the diversity of our programming, it's best to look back just at our last 3 or 4 performances. Just recently, we did the 50th anniversary of the landmark Tommy opera, rock opera, and that was created on the Axelrod stage with Remember Jones. It was an outstanding program. It was outstanding.
So your main auditorium in Ocean Township,
Yes.
how many seats does that have?
We have a 500-seat theater.
Wow, it's a big theater.
It's one of the larger venues in the state. It's a state-of-the-art venue. It was built specifically for cultural arts programming.
And is it any original plays, or is it mostly remakes, or what kind of work?
What's unique about the Axelrod Pack is that we create our own art. We don't bring in touring companies to perform on our stage. We start from scratch. We hire Broadway directors, professional actors, lighting designers, set designers. So we do it the hard way.
And how many shows a year do you have? Are there seasons that you have more shows than others?
There are about 60 performances a year at the Axelrod Pack, just in terms of professional theater. And on top of that, we produce professional ballet, we produce youth performing arts programs.
That's incredible.
Concerts, our own concerts, and a film festival, and much more.
That's, it seems like a real gem here in Central Jersey and Monmouth County that maybe not a lot of people are familiar. You often think of Two River or Count Basie or some of the others, but this is something that's here, 500 seats. Do you attract people from throughout New Jersey, or is it mostly this area?
We're a regional professional theater. We're funded by the New Jersey State Arts Council. We attract primarily visitors from the 4 counties surrounding Monmouth County, but we also attract people from other parts of the state and Manhattan. One of the nice things that the arts does is it brings tourism to our community, and it helps build a strong economic base locally. So the local restaurants benefit, the hotels benefit, and we've developed strong relationships with those types of businesses in our community.
And how did this theater get started, and how did it incorporate?
Well, there's a history of 70 years of theater in our region that was produced by the original Center Drama. It goes back to Long Branch, New Jersey, and that Center Drama group moved to our current site in Ocean Township in early 1970 at the Jewish Community Center. And the Jewish Community Center went through a capital campaign in the 1990s and built the Axelrod Performing Arts Center.
Which is in Ocean Township
Which
as well,
is in Ocean Township. And the Axelrod Performing Arts Center spun off as a separate organization from the Jewish Community Center in 2010.
Okay.
So we're an arts organization at the Axelrod Performing Arts Center, which is located on the campus of the Jewish Community Center.
And so what are some of your biggest challenges over the years? Is it awareness? Is it making sure people know you're there? Or is it other financial? What challenges?
All of the above.
Okay.
Okay. All arts organizations have to get the word out. Marketing is critical. And also bringing the audience to our community is very important in terms of youth and senior citizens. I find that senior citizens are aging in place these days, and a lot of seniors can't drive to performances in the evenings or even to matinees. And we have to create opportunities for them
Sure.
to get out of their homes, to socialize, and to experience the arts. And I think that's the kind of partnerships that we strive to create with the state and our local agencies.
As it relates to schools, do you do anything with local high schools or middle schools, any type of programs?
Absolutely. We have an outreach program through our Axelrod Contemporary Ballet program where we provide free workshops to high schools in dance.
Oh, wow.
And we've run workshops at Red Bank. In Red Bank, we've run workshops at Howe High School for the performing arts. We've run programs at Monmouth University for their students. We're the only professional ballet company in Monmouth County.
Wow.
And we're currently creating a brand new ballet with a well-known New Jersey rock group called Nutcracker Rocks. It's a take on the classical Nutcracker piece.
Sure.
And we're creating an original score in conjunction with that rock group. The contract is being worked out
Sure.
today.
That's great.
And in addition, one of the choreographers at the Radio City Music Hall is working with our ballet director to create original choreography. So it's a very exciting program. Our ballet program is unique in that we take on trainees. A lot of kids in our community are very talented, but they don't have the opportunity to perform with professionals and with live music. So what the Axelrod Contemporary Ballet Theater does is it gives students that opportunity to do more than just the competition, which they do in the dance schools. If they have a talent and they want to go on to the next phase, they can come into our company and work with professionals. So it's an outstanding program, started about a year and a half ago, and we're probably going to have hundreds of students involved in this Nutcracker Rocks program in December, which is incredible. We also have a youth performing arts program called Rising Stars, and they're going to be producing the musical Shrek for the holidays. It's for all ages. And we also have Guys and Dolls being produced by our professional theater group. And so and by the way, we also have Laura Benanti, who just starred in My Fair Lady, in the Lincoln Center production of My Fair Lady. She's going to be performing at the Axelrod on October 19th for a benefit concert.
That's wonderful.
So there's so much activity going on. Education is a key piece of what we do at the Axelrod, everything from dance to youth performing arts, to our film series. For example, this summer we showed a film about a relationship between an autistic child and his aging father, and how the father had to bring this child into his household and how they bonded. And after the film, we had a panel discussion with a nonprofit organization that serves not autistic children. And it was just an outstanding program that benefited the
Seems
entire
like you guys
community.
are doing some incredible things in this region.
Right.
So always the important question: how are you funded, and what are ways people can support Axelrod?
Right. A major challenge for all nonprofit arts organizations, and for that matter, nonprofits, is funding. We do receive funding from the New Jersey State Council of the Arts. So my hat's off to the state for their support.
Obviously, it will always be increased at some point, right? That's,
yes,
I know all the arts organizations are looking for increases.
Right. Unfortunately, funding has remained flat the last number of years. There are a lot of priorities in the states. And
what about private donations?
And private donations.
Do you have an active board? Do you have active volunteers?
Yes, we have an active board. Many corporate and businesses, local businesses support the Axelrod PAC. We also have individual donations. All this is necessary because most people can't afford ticket prices in New York.
Sure.
Okay, and they desire to have their child or or for that matter, they need
Experience.
the experience,
Sure.
the art experience, and they can't afford it. So our ticket prices, the top ticket price for one of our productions is $64 for a premium seat. And that's for a professional theater production. Our youth productions are and student prices are half that or lower. And we offer free high school tickets for previews at the Axelrod Performing Arts Center. So students can come in for free and experience professional theater and a talk back with a Broadway director. So we are striving to keep our ticket prices low. And then the other challenge, of course, is producing quality.
Sure. So I know people can Google the Axelrod Performing Arts
Right.
Center, find you on Facebook.
Right. The Axelrod Performing Arts Center can be found on our website at axelrodartscenter.com. Also, we have an active Facebook page with over 5,000 likes, and we have over 10,000 people that receive emails from us weekly. And you can sign up for our email blasts at the axelrodartscenter.com.
That's really incredible. Hopefully a lot of people watching this
Right.
will learn a little
Right.
bit more about
Yes.
Axelrod Performing Arts, maybe see
Yeah.
a future show,
Right.
and other ways to get involved.
Right,
So
right.
Jess Levy, the CEO of Axelrod Performing Arts Center, thank you for telling us a little bit about your foundation.
Thanks so much.
organization. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on today's program. You can catch other episodes of Made in New Jersey at facebook.com/Senator Gopal, and send me your thoughts on today's program at info@vingopal.com. I'm Senator Vin Gopal, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.